Hi, I'm Carol Moore. Welcome to Vignette. Tonight I have a very, very special guest. I believe she's been on the show a couple of times. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Jen, you have a name that you use on all of your work, which is what?
Jen Vanderlyn. It's a family name.
Okay.
On my father's grandmother's side.
It's a very, very nice name.
Thank you.
Do you give your real name or you choose not to?
Choose not to, but
okay.
It's mostly a branding thing.
Okay, okay.
You know, all of us musicians have their stage names, and you know, some of us are lucky enough to be born with really cool last names.
Yeah.
Like cool, like, you know, names that you can just go right into show business with them, but not all of us.
Vanderlyn is really nice. That's
Thank
a
you.
nice name. And years ago you came on the show, you were a lot younger. You were in high school, I think the first time. And then the last time you were on, you're still in college. Tell me, you play the guitar and you write music.
Still do, yeah.
And
like,
what different styles have you gone through?
Well, let's see. I think when I was the very first time I was on your show, I was just getting into the whole folk thing.
Right, right.
And I think. And I sort of went through a weird punk phase.
You kind of did protesting songs, you know, which is apropos for the time, I think. And now it seems like you're doing Celtic music, and
Kate and I, when we were playing together, my sister Kate and I were playing together, we invented a style of music for ourselves called aesthetic surrealism. We were trying to be very, very deep and come up with something no one had ever heard of before.
And how did it work?
Not really well.
Okay.
And basically, we were just writing, you know, folky pop music. But when I was in college, my senior year, I heard Fairport Convention on the radio, and I heard Sandy Denny singing, and I just sat there and was like, I was floored, and I thought, I sing like that. I can sing that kind of stuff. And it's like a light came on, and I realized I could write music like that, and I could create a niche for myself that way. That's where the whole Celtic rock thing.
With your own voice and the way your voice sounds, it just blended itself so nicely. Mm-hmm. There was a YouTube showing of you singing a song and dancing around in those shoes.
Boots, yes.
And tell me about that. That was very interesting.
Well, it's been a couple of years coming now. I wanted to get a music video out into the world of my debut solo album, Ostara, came out last year, and I've been trying to promote it since then.
And that's the album that is next to me, and let's talk a little bit about that before we go further. It's your debut solo album.
Yes. So before that, my sister Kate and I were performing as Free Thought. We put out a CD. We were performing, doing coffee house shows, and on the Green, Litchfield Green was like a big one every year.
Yeah.
And then we sort of decided to take a little break from that. Kate got into the theater, and she's working there now and loving it. And then I kept going with music. So
you started alone, and you're now alone again.
Yeah, that's kind of a sad way to put it, but
No. I think that's kind of interesting because you write your own music. Mm-hmm. It's your music. And even though your sister was helping you and singing with you and being your partner, she's on to her life, and you're onto yours.
Yeah, I guess it's the way they say you enter the world alone and you leave it alone. You're always, alone in that sense, which is, really existential and kind of depressing, but
but not really, because the buck stops with you. You're responsible for yourself. You can't say, well, if you had done this or that, everything that you do, you can scrutinize and change and vamp up or not.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, you really learn to
depend on yourself
and compare yourself to yourself.
Yeah.
It's tempting to compare yourself to other musicians that are
Right.
out there, but then you remember, this is what I'm writing about my own experiences, and I'm going to grow with each song, even
Right.
not just
Sure.
each album.
A little piece of you is in every
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Now, not only do you write your own music and have your own CDs, but your profession is music. Your work is music. What do you do?
I'm a music teacher.
Okay.
I teach. I'm part of the Music Together program, so I do Mommy and Me classes. So
Now that's for little
kids, birth through age 5. Yeah, they're adorable. And we sing, we dance, we play with instruments, we act silly, and it's fun because you get the dads to come in and dance and act silly, which
unheard of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But when they really get into it, which is so
Yeah.
cool, and the whole premise is that everybody is musical.
That's right.
And
That's right. And if you can't carry a tune, you can hit 2 sticks together. You
yeah,
can do,
we don't even care if you sing right.
Really. So you do that, and then you have older students also.
Yep, I also teach at one of the private schools in Danbury.
And you recently had a concert that
Yes.
was a smashing success.
Yes, we had our Christmas concert, and it went really, really well.
Are you allowed to sing Christmas songs in your school?
We sing church carols.
Okay.
So we did things like Joy to the World.
Oh,
and,
nice.
O Come, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
And the kids sounded great. They really did.
I bet they did. Do you do it in parts?
Not yet. That's coming for the spring concert. Spring concert's going to be a little more daring.
So you're really having fun with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I said I wanted to make music and have music be my life ever since
You were little.
Yeah. Since we've gone to the same church, and
Yeah.
I was always in there singing when I was growing up, and I knew I don't want to sit at a desk. I don't want to work in an office.
You knew.
Yeah.
You knew. How does teaching help you with your own music?
It helps me practice more. I have to be on top of my game because I have to teach those kids theory, and I have to know what I'm doing. And if, it's really easy when you're not using it to forget about it and how each thing works. But when you're teaching it, it's all right there.
It's right there.
And interestingly enough, some of the songs that we sing in our Music Together classes, they're simple kid songs and everything, but they're really catchy, and that's helped me write catchier songs. Oh, I know I want it to do this, and I know how many times I have to repeat it to
make it sound right.
Yeah.
I find with teaching art, teaching the pottery and teaching painting, that usually my students end up teaching me something. Something happens where either I start thinking about things differently because of what they're doing, or what they didn't do makes me think about things differently. So I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to teach and to get the benefits of helping them learn music, but also receiving it back.
I think definitely in the arts, that's you're a good teacher when you're able to teach your students something and then they teach you something back.
Yeah.
I mean, my students do that with me all the time. We talk about music, and I remember my first week of teaching, one of my kindergartners, we were talking about, I think it was major and minor, the differences, and one of them said, well, one of them sounds dark, or it sounds heavy, and it was a very, very, as a 5-year-ld would say it. And I was thinking, that's so abstract.
Yeah,
and
so really very good, because I think the minor keys are more plaintive and kind of melancholy than the major keys, and they're seeing it as dark and heavy, and that's very good. This new CD that you have out, Ostara, what does it mean?
I based it off of, it's a sort of a mythological background to it. Ostara is a pan-Hellenic Germanic goddess of the springtime, more or less. Easter is another name that she goes by, and they're all.
That's like the spring equinox, when everything is starting to come alive again.
She has her own holiday in the Wiccan-y pagan tradition too. So it's very much that springtime youth. There's this whole concept of the maiden, mother, and crone imagery in mythology.
Right.
And she's the maiden part. She's that that girl's just carefree and running through the meadows and everything. And I figured when I put this album out, I was 24 and I was like in that time of my life, and it's like, oh, I want to embody this and you know, showcase it. So I thought it would be a good title for
Great.
the CD.
And then when you become 50, you'll put out another
the
album.
Crone.
No, the Crone doesn't come until, you know.
The Crone is cool though. The
70s,
cool.
70s at least. I have friends that have a ceremony when they turn 60, actually, to become the old crones.
They're the wise ones.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
The maiden's the one that just like runs into trees and stuff and just
dances in the woods, like you did on the YouTube video.
Yes, yeah.
Now, how would somebody access that?
Just go to YouTube and type Jen Vanderlyn Farawen, and it should.
Jen Vanderlyn what?
Space Farawen. That's the title of the song. Yes. FAR hyphen A hyphen when.
Okay.
It's my take. You know how people say far away?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing, but far when.
Okay.
It's far away, but in time sense.
It's when instead of where.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was delightful.
Thank you. Thank you. A friend of mine, Max Thomas, and I put our heads together to come up with that whole concept. And we filmed it in middle of October, probably the coldest weekends.
Yeah. And
like
you're out dancing in the woods.
Yeah, and like the weekend after, it was nice and warm, and we had the really cold weekend. We were in New Milford for part of it at Lovers Leap Park, and then we were at
super place.
Silver Sands, I believe it's called, in Milford. Which is another state park, and then a friend of his had this really cool house, with very, very artistic house. We probably would have loved it, actually.
I would.
Like sculptures and things hanging from the rafters. And,
oh, wow. Yeah. So that's out on YouTube, and you have, I have you sing, if you could give your website and a bunch of these other things and your phone number, and then we'll have some songs.
Okay, cool. Well, you can find me on Facebook. It's Jen Vanderlyn on Facebook. If you want to show the CD, I'm not sure if that would help for the spelling, or if it'll come up on your screen.
Yeah.
But Facebook.
It's all on the screen now. So.
Okay, brilliant. Facebook.com/Jen Vanderlyn. At Jen Vanderlyn on Twitter, if you want to see, what I ate for breakfast and what kind of socks I'm wearing. And then cdbaby.com/Jen Vanderlyn. It's where you can buy the music. Which is what I want you to do. CD Baby. Yes.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's it's for indie musicians, so it's really cool to help indie musicians get their music out there.
Okay. It's specifically for. Okay, I'm new. I want you to hear me. This is my spot, and people will go on that. Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful. So, if you'd like to sing something, would you introduce it and tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. If you want to get the spelling on Far When, if you hold up the back of the CD, it's spelled out right there, so just in case our viewers.
Okay, we'll go like that, and maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't. Okay.
I don't know. I know I write some weird titles to some things. The title of my next album has a really weird spelling too.
And so, that's going to be what?
Aquarius. So I named it after a constellation because this album takes place in the daytime and that one takes place at night.
Oh,
because
very
I'm weird
nice.
like
Very nice. See, there's a reason for it all.
So I'll play Far When for you guys now.
Okay.
And I wrote this song a couple years ago. We had a family of birds that made a nest in our bathroom window, the window right next to our shower. And they had, little baby birds hatched and everything. And so that combined with just like the whole, at the time I was working at Bellamy Faraday House in Bethlehem, and they had this beautiful garden there.
Right.
Colonial garden. And I remember just like running around this garden, just making up this song. And I went into the kitchen in the house and I sang it and I wrote it in about 15 minutes.
Because it was percolating for quite a while. It just came.
And what I tell people is it's a song about a bird that falls in love with a human, or a ghost or whatever you want to believe in.
Okay.
Just something interesting and fae-like. I am the ghost of the garden that nightly haunts your dreams, and singing in sweet voices, I paint you feathered scenes of far when, sing to bring you back again to far when your Carolina wren. My nest I'll make in the corner of your good-natured heart, and to it every morning I bring a feathered part of far when, brought to bring you back again to far when your Carolina wren. Do 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 do. Far when, here to bring you back again to far when your Carolina wren. Far when, and if I fly, I'll come back again to far when your Carolina wren, your Carolina wren, your Carolina wren.
That's a real nice song.
Thank you.
And I just love how your voice has matured.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you're happy that it happens. And
yeah. There's a lot to it. And this is a song that I can see you dancing because I saw the video. And it just makes me feel that way. It's a nice, very nice song.
Thank you.
I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you're sparkly.
Yeah, that was
it's fun.
I get described as the unusual fairy a lot, so I figure just go with it.
Tell me about the little girl in your when you were teaching, when she saw your sparkles.
Yeah. Well, I shop at this store and give them their endorsement, Lush, because they make all organic product. They're mostly organic. I'm not sure if they're 100%, but they're 100% vegetarian, and they're really a good company. And they make these body butter things that have sparkles
glitz in them. Yeah.
So that part's not organic. But I like to wear this when I go teach. Yeah. And I had a little girl in my class, and she was watching me. Yeah. And like, I guess because she noticed the light would pick up on the sparkles, and then she leaned over to her mom and she's like, "Ma, she's sparkling. Is she a fairy?"
I love it. I love it because it's that age where they believe, you know.
That's when you look over and you wink or something.
Yeah.
You know, in like a non-creepy way.
Right. So this has that song had the feeling of a lot of the music that you hear now that comes from England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, stuff like that. But that's also very close to the music of the mountains of the Appalachian.
Yes.
Isn't it very similar?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are a surprising number of immigrants from Ireland, Scotland, the UK in general, that live in that part of the country. I remember going to school in Nashville. There were tons and tons of Scottish families down there. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
'Cause that's where they all went to, like, no, we're not going to Virginia. We're going to Tennessee.
Yeah. But the music is very, very similar, isn't it, from what is from the old countries?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of the folk elements. It's a surprising number of folk elements that are similar from culture to culture, and I like how they get passed down.
Right.
And it's when you have, it's nice to have people who add on to the tradition and come up with new things, but at the same time keep some of the old things.
Yeah, yeah. Now, every song that's on this CD, did you write, or are you singing other people's work?
They're all mine.
Okay, let's hear another one.
Okay. This one is, when I wrote it, I didn't realize what it was about. But I suppose you can say it's about someone writing a love song to someone who has died. So it's a song about, you know, a yearning and hope and something that you feel like you're always chasing, and you can never quite, you can see the person, you can't get them.
Right.
Because they're not with us anymore. And I realized that after I wrote it, because we were going back to Nashville some, you know, ungodly hour, like the end of spring break, and I was writing on the plane, writing it, and it came out really, really nicely. On the album, we have a little more electric guitars going in it. Brian May from Queen is a huge influence on my music, so we sort of did it up in the Queen style on this one. But this song is called "Early Are the Hours." Early are the hours with the tires touching down, and thoughts that have grown restless in the rain. Cold and wet they press themselves against me to get warm, and for their sake I hope the sun will shine again. I've been away so long, but on this road I do remember this was where we learned the art of stealing time. So foolishly we thought they'd never catch us, reaching skyward, split us up in hopes we'd forget how to fly. Early are the hours with the lines upon the road. The mist blue dawn is slowly softening the night, and my thoughts help me rehearse the very words I want to say, because my nerves don't want to see me get it right. And do you know how often I've run screaming through this mansion, running fast and crying, always calling out your name? I was there last night and grieving when the ghost showed me the door, smiled sadly when he said you never came. I've been away so long, but on this road I do remember this was where we learned the art of stealing time. So foolishly we thought they'd never catch us, reaching skyward, split us up in hopes we'd forget how to fly. Early are the hours on this hopeful Sunday morning. The sun will soon show that our plans are meant to be. Our happy ending is expected, but for me it never tires when that ending is you looking back at me. When that ending is you looking back at me. When that ending is you looking back at me.
Very nice, upbeat music to a very sad song.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do that though, right?
Yeah. Very.
Thank you.
good song.
Thank you.
Real good song. Now, you say you just wrote this on the plane going to Nashville in the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
And the other song you wrote is you were skipping through a garden and you were... So, how do you write music?
It depends on the song. I like to say I have a set way of doing things, and really the only set method I have is something that I learned from a journalism course I took. My professor said to me, well, she said to all of us, she said, okay, so you're having trouble, you have to write this lead, because every news article starts out with a lead to draw you in, right? And it has to be short, it has to be like 60 words or something.
Yeah.
And it has to be tell the who, what, where, when, everything that went on in the story.
In one sentence
right.
or so. Yeah.
And she said, of course you're going to have trouble doing this. So she said, turn the paper over with all your notes and everything, and just talk to me. Tell me what the story's about. And that's where the lead comes from. And I was, I've used this. I was actually working on a song last night, and I was laying on the floor with my eyes closed, just saying what I wanted to say. Because I figure if you just speak what the song is about, if you just talk, your brain knows what you want to say.
So you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
In a room all by yourself, and you're saying words that your mind is putting music to as you're saying it. You don't write it down quickly?
No.
You don't?
No. I mean, I know that there are people that have ways of doing things where they'll have a storyboard and they'll map it all out, which is fine. And if it works for you, that's the way definitely to do it. So I know a lot of people that do that and it works for them. But for me, I find my brain knows what it wants to say. If I just say, okay, just open myself to whatever it is that the song is about, and I wait and I wait.
So
and eventually the line will come.
It kind of channels through you with your keywords, and then how do you get the music to go with it?
Same way, I just sing it, and I'm trying to go for something natural, because as soon as, for me at least, as soon as I start planning it out and trying to compose, okay, I want to do, an E minor here, and then I want to modulate and do whatever to come next to that.
Yourself.
It sounds forced.
Yeah.
So whatever sounds natural. So a lot of times I just won't even use the guitar when I'm writing. I'll just sing the melody, and that challenges me sometimes to come up with the chords.
Now, do you write it down so you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've had great ideas, and I say, and in the morning when I wake up, I can't remember that good idea that I know I had.
Yeah, I've learned to write them down for that reason.
Yeah. Now, the cover of this CD is very interesting. It has your eye, right? Mm-hmm. And a flower, a rose, and it's very intriguing. Who did it?
Kate did, my sister.
Your sister.
So she's a photographer, artist, scenic painter. She's the visual side of stuff. I'm the audio side of stuff. And we were down at the school that we went to in Nashville, just doing a photo shoot in the rose garden, taking pictures of roses. And
beautiful.
And it's great because it's a huge rose garden, and it's circular, and it's sort of a labyrinth. There are paths all the way through it. And that picture, actually, the album cover was probably the worst picture that we took initially, because it was all blurry and it didn't look right. And when we were putting the album art together, I told Kate, I said, I'd like that to be the album cover. And she's like, oh, no, not that one. And I'm like, do you think you can make it work? And she did. She did.
It's intriguing because it isn't sharply in focus. There's something, interesting that you look at it and you're not sure exactly what this is until you look closely, because it could be just energy. In front of you.
Yeah, sort of like a fairy just escaping out of the camera right at the last minute.
Yeah. It's very, very nice. You tell her she did a great job.
I will.
Would you like to give some of your information out again right
now? Sure. Check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/Jen Vanderlyn, Twitter @Jen Vanderlyn. You can follow me on there. I try not to post things like what I ate for lunch, but every once in a while I can't help it. Mostly I retweet Brian May stories, like when he's playing with foxes and stuff. And cdbaby.com/Jen Vanderlyn.
And that's where people can buy
it, which is what I want you all to do.
Yeah.
So we all want our art to get out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And what a great way. All right. So now tell me, what's next on the agenda? What do you want to do next?
What do I want to do next? Win the lottery.
Musically.
Well, right now I'm working on my next album, my sophomore album, and booking some dates for the spring and beyond. March 19th, I'm playing at, have you heard of the Performance Hub in Torrington?
No. Is that part of the Warner Theater?
No, but it's across the street though.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That's good.
It's run by this great guy named Jay Roberts.
Okay.
So if he's watching, hi Jay. Remember me? We're booking a show for the 19th of March, and so I'll be there playing. They do an open mic every Thursday, but I think they're switching to Wednesdays.
Yeah. Do you participate in the open mics?
I do.
Oh, good.
I do. And they always have an interesting bunch of people.
Yeah. That's very good.
Yeah.
So what do you have a whole evening to yourself? Tell me what this is on the.
Maybe not. We're not sure yet. So you'll either be stuck with me, or I'll split the bill with somebody. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll be doing a couple more shows as the year gets going. I know I'll be playing down in Stamford at the Bartlett Arboretum, which is always a great show because it's outside, and Arboretum, there's trees everywhere, and it's a beautiful venue. So that'll probably be August or so.
Okay.
And then working on a new album to hopefully come out by this time next year.
Okay.
Called Aquarius.
It takes that long to do it.
When I'm doing it, yeah.
No, I think it takes a long time for everybody. It's complicated.
Oh, it is. It is. It definitely is.
I'm not really savvy about it, but I know that in order for you to have a song that sounds really good, there's an awful lot involved in that.
Yes, there is.
And you have other people who help you, and some music in the background and stuff too from other people, or is it all you?
No. My producer he's a multi-instrumentalist, so he does quite a bit as well. And we have a drummer that will come in and record for us.
Yeah.
The studio is great. It's done by Us Productions, or DBU Productions.
And where's the studio?
It's down in Stamford.
Okay.
And it's very small, but a lot of sound comes out of that building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fun to do that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is so professional.
It is. You want it to be like that.
Yeah, but it's there are some people who do CDs in their bedroom or basement or something like that, and you're doing it in a sound studio with people that really know what they're doing. So this is good.
It does make a difference.
Yeah.
Pandora thinks so too.
Oh, you're on Pandora?
I will be. I didn't actually. I thought CD Baby takes care of a lot of the distribution. So if you don't want to go to CD Baby, you can go to iTunes and Amazon and find the music there. But I don't think they submit to Pandora. But I've been told that Pandora they're pretty selective, and they want their stuff to sound good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be up on Pandora soon.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Have my own station.
Yeah. And how do they list you? What is the genre of your music?
They would probably put me under like a pop rock kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the best I could. I like to go by Celtic rock, or like like a retro British folky rock, but pop rock works too.
Well, you're also
makes people happy.
Yeah, and you're a local lady here, so you want to get it out here and then let it keep spreading and spreading. How do you get your music out locally? Is there just the concerts that you do and word of mouth and?
Yeah. That's pretty much all you can do. Every once in a while, there's I like to support small businesses, and they're very helpful with selling CDs. If you can find it, but it's hard.
Yeah,
it's always hard, but that's another great place as well to get them into the small shops.
Sure.
And right now, I don't think they're at any, just because of the turnover from the season going into Christmas.
Right.
But they will be. So check around Litchfield; they'll be around.
Good.
Some of the antique stores like Rising Sun Boutique.
Have you tried Bantam Bread?
I didn't know they sold CDs there.
Well, I don't think they do, but
they do now.
They might. You never know. You never know. They do have some local stuff in there from local people, so buy a loaf of bread and say, hey.
So
nice.
Just keep your eyes peeled. It's like, where's Waldo? CDs.
Well, they can also go on your website, and you'll have everything listed about where people can buy, purchase things
and you can
locally.
also buy them from my Facebook page as well. I have a nifty little Facebook store.
Okay, okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, not a lot of people do.
And right on your page, and if I clicked on your page, it would have your cover photo, and then how would I know that there was a store there?
If you scroll down, it should be on the left-hand side.
Okay.
It says, it's a little box that says store, and you just click on it, and it'll take you to a really nice little storefront with all of the tracks. You can preview them, and then you can buy them.
And how did you get that?
I did a Google search.
Really?
You have to, with the internet and everything, you have to look for free ways to find help, basically.
Well, I'm asking because I'm clueless. I think this is kind of neat.
I'm still figuring it out myself.
Yeah. You're way ahead of me. Way ahead of me. That's incredible. So on your Facebook page, you have a store. Mm-hmm. We'll talk after the show. Interesting. Okay, so have you got another song that you'd like to share?
I do. How many more do you want me to play tonight?
You can play whatever you want.
Okay. All right, I'll do another
Fill
one.
in your time. I don't know how close we are to a break, but let me see. I didn't understand that at all. So let's sing.
All right. This is another one off of Ostara. This is a song about fruit.
Fruit?
Yeah. Yep. It's called Damson Plums.
I know what they are. They're the little purple ones.
Yes. They're really tasty.
They're good?
There's a story that says if you take the skin of those plums and you cut it up and you make tea out of it, or just feed it to the object of your affection, they will fall in love with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah. I should have known that years ago, huh?
I have to find someone to try it on. So I can't tell you if it works or not, but if anybody wants to try and give me a call and let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
So this is just a love song.
Okay.
In other words, called Damson Plums. Not damn some plums, but Damson.
Yeah.
The damson plums I taste upon my tongue, my bond to you, and ever as my soul lives on, they will taste the truth. They will taste the truth. The damson plums I taste upon my tongue, let come what may, so long as we to each are drawn, the universe allay, the universe allay. The damson plums I taste upon my tongue, the sorrows known are well met when they're come and gone, as happiness is sown, as happiness is sown. Ooh. Forever as my soul lives on, they damson plums I taste upon my tongue, my bond to you. Ooh.
Never eat a damson plum again without thinking of this. I have a tree of them. They're just starting to produce fruit.
Oh, wonderful.
They're
and make it a tea and sell it like a love potion.
Yeah, well, 40, 50 years ago maybe. But I can offer that up for somebody else.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to be taking a break now, and we'll be back in a few minutes for the second half of the show. Don't go away. Welcome back to the second half of the show, actually the last quarter of the show, I think. My guest is Jen Vanderlyn, and this is a local singer, songwriter, and you're kind of getting yourself all over the place now.
I am most of the time all over the place.
That's wonderful. That's
in more ways than one.
But that's also wonderful. That's a creative spirit, you know? You don't want to be normal, flat, predictable. You want to have the life that goes with a singer-songwriter.
Yes, yes.
And the hair and everything that goes with it. I was noticing when you were singing, I was watching you on the monitor, you really look good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, it just, you have a very nice presence on TV. So
I'm in a good mood tonight, so it's like...
It's showing.
Yeah,
it shows.
Yeah,
it shows.
Having a good time with you tonight.
Well, it's my pleasure. I just love having you on. You've got some new songs.
I do, yeah.
And are these going to be on your new album, which is called?
The new album is called Equuleus.
And how do you spell that?
Equuleus.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm weird.
And
really
where
weird.
is this constellation?
So when you look up at the night sky, there's a big box, dependent on what time of year and the time of day, and you can see, a neck and a head and legs coming off it. That's Pegasus.
Okay.
So there's a tiny little one next to it. That's Equuleus.
Oh.
It means little foal.
Okay.
So it's like Pegasus, the baby of Pegasus.
Okay.
And so this new album is a concept album. I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking, it's not really David Bowie. It's more Queen-like. It's really like love and lust in outer space. And
love and lust
in
outer space. Okay,
yeah.
That could be the name of a song.
I have this weird thing where I'll go outside at night and I'll look up at the stars and I talk to them.
That's not weird.
And and I feel like if I see a shooting star, then I know they've heard me. And so the whole in a way you can say it's like a communicating with space album.
Okay. Okay. It's called Connection to Your Universe also.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's a wonderful thing. So many people don't even see the stars because of the lights.
Oh yeah, I know. That's one thing about living in the city that I don't miss. Being back home is being able to go outside and see the Milky Way.
That's right.
I'm a space nerd, and I love everything to do with space. I wish I could be up there.
Okay, maybe someday.
Maybe I'll go to Mars or something.
Wow.
Go back home.
Oh, okay. We'll do another whole show about aliens and people that are misplaced in this world. They come from outer space.
Oh, we did have that big green thing that went down in the lake that we're not supposed to talk about.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody knows what it was.
No.
No.
Oh, no. So yeah, I'll play you a couple of new songs from the album.
Okay. Wonderful.
This first one is about the frustrations felt between time zones and how there's hours between us and the rest of the world.
That's right.
It's a frustrated kind of love song, I guess
you have to. I have a book called We Moon, and it's all about women and the moon and the cycles, and the whole book is written in Pacific time, so you have to change it for Eastern Standard Time.
Doesn't
so
it get frustrating after a
yeah.
while?
See, so that's what you're talking
That's what
about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's called Other Half of the Sky.
Okay.
Daisy chains and wild wind Wednesdays, moonrise up in the sky to end days. All us standing here can see the sun go down. Make your mind up, wait, don't tell me. Fireflies and stars will help me. They appearing here as the sun goes down. For the other half of the sky I'm falling. Go and tell the sun that the moon is calling. Let the gap of time between the night and the day dissolve away. Daytime spent climbing gear and ladder. Nighttime went to the chirp and chatter. Don't cut what you can untie and the seam come undone. For the other half of the sky I'm falling. Go and tell the sun that the moon is calling. Let the gap of time between the night and the day dissolve away. For the other half of the sky I'm falling. Go and tell the sun that the moon is calling. Let the gap of time between the night and the day dissolve away. So dreaming ones in the night can have it, while waking ones in the dawn can grab it. They're onto that line in the sand that the sea make no more. They stand on that line in the sand that the sea make no more. For the other half of the sky I'm falling. Go and tell the sun that the moon is calling. Let the gap of time between the night and the day dissolve away. For the other half of the sky I'm falling. Go and tell the sun that the moon is calling. Let the gap of time between the night and the day dissolve away.
I like it a lot. There's a different tone that in this song from the others. It's a higher pitch or something.
Yes,
what?
handy
Different
keyboard.
key. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I try and challenge myself and write songs in every key imaginable.
Yeah.
So that one's in good old C minor there.
Okay. Now this guitar that you have has a beautiful sound.
Thank you. I agree.
And you've had it for a long time, or?
Yeah, since I was 23, about.
Okay.
No, not a really long
No,
time,
no.
but long enough.
But it's a good guitar.
Yes.
It has it just has a nice mellowness to it and a fullness to it. And by changing the key like that, it was very interesting.
It makes it a little more harp sounding.
Yeah.
At least in my
Yeah.
my weird logic. It's nice to change it up a little bit,
Sure.
and it gives it more of a music box quality, if that makes sense. So I'm already I'm choreographing the music video for this song in my mind, and that sound has a lot. It's going to influence how it's going to look. It's going to be very, very dreamlike.
Oh,
and
nice,
I'm picturing stop motion and like claymation and weird
Oh,
stuff.
fun.
And, yeah, it's going to be great.
Okay, now I think we have time for another new song.
All right. Well, this one is going to require me tuning just a little bit.
Okay, no, tune. definitely tune. That little gimme gadget you has you tune and I'll talk.
Okay, go
I'm watching it, so you wait for that thing to hit center,
yes.
and then it's on pitch there. That's how do you know? You just know what the sound is supposed to be?
Well, if you have perfect pitch, you can do that.
I've only known one person with that, and that was Martha Wyke. She had perfect.
Oh, does she?
She did. Yeah, she has perfect.
For those of you sitting at home, this is our inside joke part of the show. Is we've seen her lately, and yeah, I can see that she would have perfect pitch.
Yeah, yeah. She could always just hit middle C, just sing it, and knew where it was always.
And I believe that you can train yourself to have perfect pitch. I think I have relative perfect pitch where I remember pitches of songs. I can't tell you what they are in terms of keys and things if I don't already know them. But
well, I found out something very interesting because I'm a beekeeper, and when I am going through the hives, I tend to hum. I just hum. I just a steady kind of a note. Then I was reading that happy bees they buzz on middle C.
Oh, really?
So now that I know that, I can't figure out what middle C is, but it's somewhere where I sing.
You need to get a tuning fork.
Yeah, I do. But if I go into the hive and they're high-pitched, then I tone my voice down to the lower register, and they seem to calm down. So it's kind of interesting.
That's really cool. I want to keep bees, so we'll definitely have to talk after the show.
Yes, I have 3 hives right now. Fun.
All right, well, I'm all tuned up.
Okay.
So this is one of my favorite ways to end the show, any kind of show, because of the title. It's called Good Night, Good Night.
Okay.
It's perfect, right?
It is.
This is also about the part of the show where I date myself and I start talking about what's it called? An American Tale. I was thinking All Dogs Go to Heaven, which is the same kind of premise. Yeah. But you know the part of An American Tale where Fievel the mouse, he's missing his family and he's in the water tower and he's looking up at the moon, and his sister's off in wherever she is and they're looking at the moon. And this is like the grown-up version of that.
Okay.
This is the I am here and you're here, and I've just had this realization that when you look up at the sky, you see the same stars that I am. So maybe you saw that same shooting star. Maybe you see that same exact constellation right there.
Yeah.
And I feel closer to you.
Okay. That's beautiful.
So, good night, good night. I can connect the stars of the Pegasus constellation and trace his flight path west across the winter sky. I think that where you are, that you might see him too. The sky is clear for me, is it clear for you? So far away, but the stars we see above are all the same, and they move around us all the time in scores of dotted shapes and lines, and they hear every little word we have to say. Good night, good night. Here's a message through the stars relayed from me to you. Yeah, good night, and a palace light tells me my words have gotten through. Yeah, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Now when the shooting stars fall south across the constellations, you might look to that part of sky, same time as me, and see them flit and dart and glitter, gold and green, moving quickly, slowly, sideways, and in between. So far away. They say that when you're lost, the stars have lots to say. So while you're driving home tomorrow night, and you're deep in thought, perhaps you might look and see which stars are there to lead the way. Oh, good night, good night. Here's a message through the stars relayed from me to you. Yeah, good night, good night. And a palace light tells me my words have gotten through. Yeah, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night. Oh, good night, good night. Here's a message through the stars relayed from me to you. Yeah, good night, good night. And a palace light tells me my words have gotten through. Yeah, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night. Oh, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night.
Great way to end. Jen, if you would just give your contact information one more time.
All right. I should probably do the website too.
Yes, oh definitely.
Yes, I haven't done that all night. You can find me at jenvanderlyn.wordpress.com. And again, facebook.com/Jen Vanderlyn. At
phone
Jen
number,
Vanderlyn.
do you have?
I do, if you want to call me. 860-605-4247.
Okay.
That's if you want to book me for a gig, bar mitzvah, wedding, children's party, anything. I'm a musician. I'll take the work. And then, of course, cdbaby.com/Jen Vanderlyn.
Okay, very good. Gee, I hope this really gets a lot of airtime so that people can hear you. I think you're fabulous.
Thank you.
And your 2 new songs are really, really nice, and they have a different flavor.
They do.
From the CD that you just did, which is great. So when that CD is all done and you have all the songs,
I'll be back here.
You come back.
Yep.
And if I keep emailing you and you don't hear from me, email me. Okay? Okay. So thank you so much for being on the show.
It's always fun.
And I just love hearing what you've done. I love watching from your beginnings to where you are now. You've shown tremendous growth in your music. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you would like to be on this show, Vignette, please call me, Carol Moore, at 860-567-0618, or email me at ctmore4@optonline.net, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So until next week, I am Carol Moore. The show is Vignette, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Good night.